Hello, everyone. Welcome to your spirit messages. I hope you have had a lovely April. We are already halfway through. I cannot believe how much the weather has changed where we are. We're having summer, and I'm seeing some of my American friends having winter 3.0. So I hope wherever you are, you're enjoying all the things that are happening around you, whether you're in the southern hemisphere and the seasons are changing to fall, and really kind of like feeling that releasing and letting go. And then for us in the northern hemisphere, that kind of rebirth and that reemergence, reemergence of ourselves. A lot of deep work happening this past winter, of course, coming out of 2020, heading into 2021. Hasn't been easy for anyone. I think we've all been forced to shift and change on our paths. And so I hope that you have taken some time for rest. I know that a lot of my clients, and myself included, at the beginning of March kind of hit this energetic plateau. Like we're just like, oh my God, I need some rest. And I have been seeing a lot more people kind of like heeding that call and taking a little bit of rest. So hopefully you're one of them. But one thing the spirit was inspiring me to talk about this week was really around processing our stuff. And processing our stuff takes time and space. And we hear time and time again from spirit that not enough of us are taking that true time and space to be with self, to center to our core, to calm the nervous system, to slow down a little bit. And because we're in a society that's go, go, go all the time, we've created lives for ourselves that require a certain level of maintenance and keeping up and catching up. And we never really kind of enter the state of peace and rest. So that's one thing Spirit really wants me to talk about this week, is around trying to carve out that space for yourself. And, we're all busy. We all have the same 24 hours in every single day, though time is an illusion. And we can all create space within our lives, whether it means sacrificing something else or just being very intentional with our time to really kind of like practice a presence. Now, mediumship, we call it sitting in the power. If we're going to be expanding our energy out, I have been really enjoying the practice of just coming back into my oneness, just coming back into my center, rediscovering my core. Something that I can always return home to is like really important to me, but it does take time, space, and intention. And so I've managed to set aside 30 minutes every evening after I put the kids to bed to do this before I make lunches for the next day. And I actually surprisingly still have time to watch a show or a movie with my husband. So it's interesting when you get intentional with your time and you become present in your time. It's almost like time and space like stops. And whereas before I would accomplish the same amount of stuff every evening without spending the time to meditate, yet now I'm including meditation time, yet I still get all the things done. So I feel like sometimes we're feeling rushed, and that is an illusion in itself. And that is kind of like a lie that we continue to tell ourselves. So try it out with me, test it with me. I have seen even times where I have a podcast episode coming out next Tuesday where I did a Q&A with my Instagram audience and some emails I've received lately. Somebody asked me about like balancing between motherhood and mediumship. And I'm like, well, I find just the art of presence, like when I'm with my kids, I'm 100% present with my kids. When I'm with my clients, 100% present for my clients. When I'm here creating content for my audience, free content, I am there completely centered and present within that intention. And I don't feel stressed. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel pressured. I don't feel pulled in a million different directions because I feel centered at my core, because I've been intentionally sitting with myself for months now. And I am being very intentional and present in where I'm at in the here and now, not fretting about the future, not fretting about the past. And then time seems to slow down a little bit. So if you are somebody who's listening to this and you definitely feel in your head, what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next, try slowing down. Try creating some space in your life so that you can really kind of come back to your center, collapse time and space, live this life that you're here to live. I don't know why I'm hearing this quote in my head, but I don't know if you guys have seen The Croods about cavemen. And of course, the dad's walking around very fearful of life and just constantly thinking about everything that's going to go wrong. And the daughter and the son finally find some freedom. And the daughter says to her, Daddy's like, Dad, that wasn't living. It was just not dying. And every time I hear that, I tell my kids, I'm like, that could be one of the wisest things you'll ever hear. So please remember that they said that on that movie, because so many of us are just walking around like breathing, but not living. And so I really encourage you to kind of take that into your heart and ask yourself, like, am I living? Am I living a full life? And if not, how can I be more intentional in my time and space so that I feel fulfilled and so that I feel like I'm not just walking around breathing with a pulse, that I'm actually leaving a legacy and that I'm actually creating something for the next generations that are going to make them proud. It is not too late. We get to kind of pick our legacy at every moment, every decision, every day, every hour, every minute. So never forget that. It's never too late. So let's just pull a few cards. I'm going to be using the Psychic Tarot deck. I just did an IGTV. If you go to my Instagram and you go to my IGTV on the 14th of April or 13th, I think it was like yesterday, the day before, I did one on my favorite Oracle deck. So I shared all the decks that I have, why I love them, and why this continues to be my favorite. It's a bit of a tough love deck. So you may get something that kicks you in the ass. Just welcome it. And let's just see what happens. Just pull 3 cards for you guys today. How did I know it was going to be a kick in the ass? Okay. Let me have a sip of my tea too. Mamas rarely get some hot tea. Okay. So the first one you got was 7, choose wisely. And you could see like really there's no wrong decision, right? Choose wisely. It's also the number 7, which to me is always like good fortune. This is like, you're faced with a choice right now, but there is no bad decision and there's no like perfect decision. It's just a decision that needs to be made. And not only do you have to make the decision, but you have to take action on it. You have to trust yourself, right? Solar plexus card number 3. This is like Holy Trinity. This is like one of the most powerful numbers in the deck, but solar plexus is around trusting self. It's around knowing that you're worthy of being heard, know that you're worthy of being seen, know that you're worthy of making really aligned decisions and just standing with it in your power. This is a really powerful card. And this is a time for you to actually own your power. So if you have been feeling powerless, I definitely encourage you to tap into solar plexus energy. There's different ways that you can do this. You can breathe in and out yellow light from the heart center, from the solar plexus. I've also actually used citrine crystals or yellow calcite on my solar plexus, and I just laid down. I actually had an amazing experience with Archangel Sandalphon doing that. I'd never even heard of Archangel Sandalphon at the time. He came very clearly to me saying Sandalphon, and I wrote it down phonetically. Obviously, I butchered the spelling, but I actually had a very incredible experience by laying on my bed, citrine crystal on my solar plexus and just breathing in and out that yellow light. It wasn't even my intention to connect with anything. It was very powerful. So it's a time to claim your power. It's a time to rediscover your power. And there's a prayer that Caroline Mice says that I think is absolutely incredible. And it's so simple. It's simply, I have misplaced my power and I call it back now. I mean, the words and vibration that those words carry is just incredibly powerful. So love it, love it, love it. And then finally, your kick in the ass card. It's trapped in fear, and it's around money. This is a money card, Kate. And the only reason why, if you want to know how my intuitive brain works, I see the number 8. 8 is a money card. And there's this trapped in fear. So some of the decisions that you're trying to make and why you feel powerless is actually around fear of money, fear of not having enough, fear of having some but not being able to keep it, fear of seeing the bank account dwindle, fear of all the dreams that you have that cost investing in yourself. A lot of these fears that you have are around material things. And you have the power to understand that if you can get to your center and if you can feel the power within, everything that's external is just a bonus. And if it's a bonus, it comes and goes, it ebbs and flows. And so this is something that just says you don't have to be trapped in fear. You can make an aligned decision every single day that you choose to stand in your power, and you welcome being at that vibration, being at that energy level. It's just going to come in more. And then when you're down, things are going to kind of go, and it's going to be an ebb and flow. And that's just the reality of the human experience. Without dark, there is no lightness. So this is kind of that card. This is a card and a reminder to you guys that not everything is about the physical and the material, that there is deep richness within. So if you take what you want and what you will from the spirit messages today, I would love to know what action steps that you're inspired to take. If you want to post them in the comments below, any of your big takeaways, anything that kind of like lit you up, I would love to hear about. And of course, for each and every one of you, I just absolutely wish you the best week ahead. Go check out my Angel Hour. The first angel hour was amazing. We had over 40 women register. It was Archangel Michael. You can purchase the replay. Just hit me up a message, Instagram squamishmedium or squamishmedium at iCloud.com. Happy to give you the replay. And the next Archangel is going to be Uriel, who is the angel of light. And Archangel Uriel helps us, use that light we have within and all of us have within and share it without fear and share it and align with our spiritual gifts and find courage to share them with the outer world. So that's going to be the focus of the next angel hour on May 10th. You can also hit the link below to register for the language of spirit. So this is by far, besides the initiation, the most popular class I've ever taught. It's for everybody. On Spirit School, you can purchase last year's replay, and the replay continues to sell, but really it's around the language of spirits, the language of our soul. It's the clairs, it's clear hearing and knowing and feeling and tasting and smelling and sensing and seeing. And so I'm going to be redoing this live. I'm going to be teaching it live one more time in May. So every Saturday in May, you have live access to it. So you can hit the link below to register for that as well. Super affordable. This time is also going to come with a Facebook community because there's homework every single week that I give you. And this is going to be another way. It's just a pop-up group for 6 weeks. So I'll give you guys an extra 2 weeks in the community to share experiences, to partner with one another if you want, to practice some of the exercises. It's going to be really interactive. It's going to be a lot of fun. So go check it out if you're interested. And I will see you next week. Bye, guys.